Dear panel members, participants, and everyone, it's an immense pleasure and honor to be here today and present to you my paper. So, before I present, let me share the screen with you. Yes, I hope you can view the screen. So, my topic of presentation is a case study on the booming tea tourist industry in India. So, if we talk about the topic of tea tourism, I would like to say about background of the tea and also history. Since the ancient period, as we see, India has been a proud producer of tea. They love to have tea, and they love to inculcate various flavors of tea. So here we can see, we know that the first tea estates been established in Assam way back in 1837. Today, India is the second largest producer and the biggest consumer of tea in the world. During the last 2 decades, several tea gardens have opened up to visitors, thereby directly connecting the origin of tea with its consumers. Now, talking about introduction, tea is culturally important as tourism has embraced tea cultivation and consumption to support community livelihoods. Tea tourism is an ecotourism business. Tea tourism research is scarce. Researchers have stressed the need for a greater study to properly understand tea significance in hospitality, customer satisfaction, and high quality services. Today, tea tourism is emerging as viable type of tourism that is beneficial both for the communities who work on tea estates and also for local economies. Tea gardens are often beautiful scenic places and ideal vacation spots. Tourists, especially those from foreign countries, visit tea tourism spots in India to enjoy the beauty and tranquility of these places and also to understand the tea making process. Now, if we talk about India, India has a numerous tea tourism spots, namely Assam, North Bengal, Darjeeling, and Sikkim. All of these have specialty teas. Tea tourism not only helps the economy by creating employment opportunities on tea estates, but also helps tea estates in terms of tourism and non-tourism related services. So these places which just mentioned, Assam, North Bengal, Darjeeling, and Sikkim are Himalayan tea estates. And if we talk about Nilgiris, we have Uti, we have Kurg, and also we have Munnar. So now talking about the literature review. The acts of human traveling and staying in areas other than their typical surroundings for not more than 1 year in a row for pleasure, business, or other reasons not linked to the execution of an activity remunerated from within the place visited, according to WTO 1994. Tea tourism is a niche or special interest tourism that crosses numerous disciplines, according to scholars. Sharples to 2008. Tourism that is inspired by an interest in the history, customs, and consumptions of tea includes tea gardens, factories, stores, and organizations that conserve and explain tea culture. Jofil to 2003. Darjeeling has always attracted domestic and international travelers owing to its beauty and nature. According to Besky to 2014, tea tourism is growing and developing. They said that tea plantation tourism improved the local culture and socio-economic inequality in tea producing areas. Suetelal 2019 asserted that integrating tea with tourism achieves sustainable livelihood, whereas Weber 2018 found that tea tourism preserves national identity, enhances cultural heritage, and provides sensory experience in tourism. Now, talking about the methodology. It is a descriptive study which has been initiated An intervention program teaches some people more tea tourism and festivals. The chosen answers were looked at to find out what effect tea tourism is having. Talking about the research design, the study used quantitative, qualitative, and exploratory research methods. Methods to back up its conclusion. Both first-hand and second-hand information was used in the research. Secondary information came from a number of sources such as published articles based on what the goals of the study were, and a main data questionnaire was made. Tourists and people who drank tea were looked at. The questionnaire asks about how you like your tea and how you like the tea festivals, which brought lots and lots of questions. Talking about the objectives of the study, to identify and assess the potential of India to become a tea tourism destination. Secondly, to identify the influence of preference over tourist in India. Talking about the hypothesis, two types of hypotheses were inculcated in the study. Alternative hypothesis, there is a significant influence of tea preference over tourist in India. Null hypothesis says that there is no significant influence of tea preference over tea tourist in India. Now talking about the results and discussions. From the graph, it shows that the majority of the respondents were obtained from Asian culture, which we can see the graph here, which showed a percentage of 75.5, and the latest percentage respondents were obtained from North American, that is 1%. Next, coming to the part of do you like to drink tea? This part, the pie chart says that the majority of the respondents agree to they like to drink tea, which showed a percentage of 78.5, and the least percentage of respondents obtained from the people who prefer to drink tea was who may prefer to drink tea was 10%. Next, talking about which is your favorite type of tea. Lots and options was there, but maximum options went for, we can see 73 percentage, which goes for black tea. From the this table, it is showing that black tea is preferred 36.5 percentage. The least percentage of respondents were obtained from the people who preferred Kuwait type of tea. How experienced do you consider yourself regarding tea culture? From this chart, from this pie chart, it is showing that the majority of the people consider themselves as beginner regarding tea culture. We showed a percentage of 50. The least percentage of respondents were obtained from the people who considered themselves as an expert regarding tea culture, 9.5%. Have you heard about tea tourism? From the pie chart, it shows that majority of the respondents agreed that they have heard about tea tourism, which showed a percentage of 56. The least percentage of respondents were obtained from the people who might have heard about tea tourism. Lastly, talking about the conclusion. India's tea plantation did well because of what was learned from large-scale mountain tea farming. Tea tourism in India is on the rise. Tea culture and its traditions are important for tourists to learn about. Tea tourism grows when people know about tea. Communication about tea that focuses on sustainability and how to manage tea crops could bring in more tea tourists in future. Benefits to go to regional managers and travel agents. Besides the direct economic benefits, tea tourism also provides indirect economic benefits to communities in tea tourism areas. This includes increasing awareness about local cultures and traditions in tea producing areas, boosting local handicrafts, and promoting regional cuisines. In turn, these can lead to higher income, promoting the development of vibrant social, cultural, and economic ecosystems. Lastly, I want to talk about suggestions and limitations. Some restrictions apply to these findings. For starters, only those who can communicate in English are eligible to fill out the survey. In this study, we didn't include participants from a particular group. Despite this, our research is aimed at curious sightseers who are interested in improving their English skills. Secondly, our sample comes from a wide range of locations, so cultural influences that aren't addressed here might influence our results. In future research, further data and subsamples may be obtained. Agricultural, tourism, and consumption may be influenced by the culture of travelers. The extent to which tourist customs affect buying habits and agriculturally related vacation plans. All in all, tea tourism has immense potential to benefit the Indian economy as it increases employment opportunities and helps to promote local crafts and culture, thereby providing direct and indirect economic benefits to local communities and businesses. This is the reference. Thank you. That's all about my presentation. I would like to conclude here.